alone.
Usually, our fan base was close to zero.
My parents came one game, but they didn't come to the other ones because they didn't have time.
The other students at Gainesville don't come to the games either, mostly because they can't get out. This is a juvenile correction facility for felony offenders, and one of the few perks here for very good behavior is a chance to leave the prison a few times a year to play basketball. They play against private schools like Vanguard College Prep in Waco, and it was before that recent matchup that two Vanguard players announced they weren't going to play against a team with no fans.
No one likes playing in an empty gym.
But isn't that supposed to be a good thing for you? You don't have the other fans cheering against you?
I guess, but it just seems weird, you know? It just doesn't seem right.
So, before their home game against Gainesville, Hudson Bradley and Ben Martinson asked some of the Vanguard fans for a favor. To cheer for Gainesville instead. The Gainesville players had no idea what was happening. They walked onto the court to find their own signs of support, their own cheerleaders, even their own fan section. Half the crowd was assigned to cheer for Gainesville.
But then as it went on, everybody just kind of got so into it.
Nobody was cheering for you?
Everyone was cheering for them. I mean, every time they scored, the gym was just lit up with cheering and clapping, and everyone was on their feet.
And for that, the Gainesville players can't thank those boys enough.
It's something I won't forget. When I'm old man, I'm just gonna think about this.
Probably remember this for the rest of my life.
And finally, as for who won the game, well, obviously they didn't care. So why should we?
Please welcome Ben Martinson and Hudson Bradley. What you did is absolutely one of my most favorite stories in the whole world, and I want to know whose idea was it to organize this?
So to start out, it was my idea. So we went up to their gym for the first time. I walked in completely empty, nobody except for like their team and their coach, and I just felt really bad. I talked to my mom and I was like, hey, we need to do something for them. So we got our school involved, got half of them to cheer for them, half of them cheer for us, ordered them pizza after the game, and they just had so much fun.
Well, I want to know, Hudson, was it kind of scary knowing that you were playing felons?
Yeah, well, definitely at first, because you know they walk into the gym and they've got handcuffs on.
They walked in with handcuffs?
Yeah, they did, and so then at the door they have their own security guards that come with them from the school, and they pat them down, and they take off the handcuffs, so they're like, they have to stay in line. So definitely at first it's like, you're kind of like, whoa, what's going on here, you know, when you see that going on. But then once the game starts and these guys start shaking hands with you and, you know, patting you on the back, you know, you start to realize, you know, it's not exactly what you thought it was.
Well, I want to know, Ben, what in the world did you say to get all those high school kids to cheer for them?
Well, to start out, we didn't give them a choice. We forced them to.
Now there is a real leader.
Yeah, so we forced them to cheer for them, but once the game started, they were like very, very into it. They loved cheering against us and for them. So like they got so loud for them, and it was so great.
Well, how did it feel when they were louder for them than they were for you?
Well, like a quick story of how I felt was like halfway through the game when their bigger players comes and like blocks me against the backboard, and I was like, oh no, but our entire student section went like insane. Like they're like talking trash to me and being really mean. So it was fun, but at first you're just like, why aren't you cheering for us? Because they usually do, but it was still a ton of fun.
Hudson, how did this team and this game actually impact you?
For me, I'd say it definitely made me much more appreciative of what I do have, because you know, when you see all your friends and family that are usually cheering for you, and all of a sudden cheering for someone else and against you, you know, that's pretty funny. But then you realize, okay, this wouldn't be funny if it was like this all the time, you know. And these guys don't have any people there for them ever, and no one's cheering for them, and no one has their back. And so it made me appreciate, wow, I really love having that support and that family behind me. And also I'm just grateful for the privilege of being able to do something I love, playing the game of basketball. And it's something I take for granted, but it's something they have to try really hard to earn, and they don't always get to do that.
Well, Ben, was it any different at all for you?
My experience was these kids love to have fun. It's like they don't have the same capabilities as us to just go outside and play with our friends. And when they get on that court, this is their time to have fun. They're not an amazing team, but they're out there just having tons and tons and tons of fun. And I just know that sometimes basketball can be too competitive and too much, but when you're out there with those Gainesville kids, it's just a fun playground basketball that you're just having fun out there.
And so Ben, what was the response of the Gainesville players when you did this?
They were ecstatic. They loved it. They come out a tunnel we made for them, cheering and looking around what's going on. And after the game, we got to talk to them for a little bit, and they're like, why did you do this for us? Do you know who we are? And they're we're felons. People don't do this type of thing for us. And that kind of really got to my heart. It's these people, they don't have the same type of self-respect as all of us do. And everyone deserves a second chance.
What about you, Hudson?
Yeah, I'm definitely the same thing, just seeing the different perspective that these guys brought, that they're just out here to have fun and just here to earn this privilege that I take for granted. It's pretty inspiring to me to just appreciate, and also seeing how much they loved it and how much fun this event was for them also inspired me and made me, realize this is something we can do all the time. It's not something that just had to be a one-time thing, and that's, I think anyone can see that and just see how easy it was and be inspired to do something similar.
Well, Ben, I want to know about the Gainesville coach.
The Gainesville
What
coach
about
is,
him?
yeah, the Gainesville coach is an amazing guy. He's also their reverend at the state school, and all the kids.
He's their what?
Their reverends, their pastor.
pastor?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And he's a great guy. All of them love him. None of them come from a good background. And a story that he told me once was this past year we played him right after Christmas, and he was these kids really don't have anything. They come back from, he comes to coach them back from his Christmas. He's hey, did anything? Let's see, do you get anything? And none of them raised their hand. None of them did anything. So he's the father figure for them, and he's always around to help them out.
So he's a true father figure.
Yes, ma'am.
To those boys, and he's earned your respect.
Yes, ma'am. He's a great guy.
Well, Hudson, what was the background of some of these kids? Did you get to know them well enough to find out?
Yeah, so talking to them, a lot of them got to talk about their past and where they come from, and most of them, they just don't really have family, period. They feel we see it as, they didn't have the support that we've had and the advantages we've had our whole life. And so that could be a big part of the reason why they are where they are now. And, seeing how hard they're trying to get out of that situation, you can tell, they're not just evil people at heart. They really want, to be good people, but they may have just not had a choice.
Well, you shared with me that you did have a chance to talk to one special kid, and tell us about that.
Yeah, so just one example of one of the people we talked to. One of the kids actually had a football scholarship, or several football scholarships lined up, and so he was telling me that as soon as he left the state school, all he wanted to do was take his football scholarship. It wasn't necessarily the best team, but he wanted to go play for this one team that was in Iowa, that was as close to his mom as possible, so he could go to college, not have to make her pay for it, just so he could go back and take care of his mom, because she couldn't take care of herself. So that's all he cared about, was just going back and taking care of this one little piece of family that he had left.
That's a pretty touching story. Ben, do any of the Gainesville kids actually get to go to college?
They don't really. That's their only goal. The whole time they're really into college, and some of them get it for sports and other different things like that, and that's all they want to talk about. When we came and talked to them, they're telling us, hey, we looked y'all up on y'all's like website during our like computer time, and we saw that like 100% of y'all students get to go to college. Like, can you tell us about that? How cool that's gonna be? And I never really thought like these kids, like they all have like a tag on them that says felon, and because of that, they're not getting the same opportunities like to go to college, even though like they're all trying in any sort of way they can, and it's really cool.
Well, Hudson, if there's one thing you want these 12,000 people to take away from this story, what is it?
I think it definitely just be how little it takes to do something like this. You know, it didn't take one person doing as much as they possibly could. I mean, obviously, we did everything we could for this, but it didn't take a gigantic effort or a huge amount of money for this to happen. It took one person starting the idea, and then a lot of people just coming together in a community and working together. And it just, I think it's something that's possible at any time in any community because, you know, and you can do this for anyone because, I mean, God sees us for not who we are on the outside, but for who we are on the inside, and He loves us anyways. And so I think it's just important to see that, you know, you can really make this happen if you really want to. It's not too difficult for anybody.
Well, Ben, what is your takeaway that you want us to really get?
To really appreciate what you have, because these kids are like in a bad situation, and that everyone deserves a second chance. That like He tells us that like we have sinned and then we've come closer to God, and to be godly men and women of any faith, you're probably supposed to like help people out and make sure everyone is having a second chance, because all of us want to let us, like everyone know that our God loves us and He loves every one of us.
Well, listen, boys, we have a little surprise for you. So I want you to watch the monitor roll the video.
I tell you, it really took off. When we came out and the coach asked us to come back in and come out on the floor and see all the people out there and dressed in black and white and all the cheerleaders with the tornado shirts on. It was just an amazing experience.
It was an interesting game. It was a good game. I like the sportsmanship, teamwork, the fact that our team helped the players, they fed us real good, and they were real nice guys.
People showed sportsmanship and showed me that they really care about us. Instead of just like putting us down, they picked us up.
Everybody had tornado shirts on, cheering for us, had our adrenaline rushing. We're just happy to be off campus. We had fun over there. They gave us a good game.
Thank you for a chance out of the world.
And I want to tell you, in honor of your support of the Gainesville Tornadoes, we are making a $10,000 donation to the Gainesville basketball team in your honor.
Thank you so much.
Surprise. Coach Thomas, where are you? Now, here's your $10,000, Coach, and I want you to tell us how you're going to spend the money.
Oh, goodness. Just on behalf of the state of Texas and the Texas Juvenile Association and the city of Gainesville and our support council, This donation is going to be used to support the team with their travel, meals for games, and their end-of-year sports banquet. It's going to also pay for toiletry, clothes, and a suitcase when they leave Gainesville. It buys education materials to help the students. Because that's the ultimate goal for them to get out of that system and into the public system. Amen? It's going to buy education materials to help the students obtain their GED. It's going to pay for their graduation cap and gown. It's going to pay for technical training so that they can financially support their families when they leave. Some of the kids in Gainesville aren't blessed to have a visit from their families, so this donation will also pay for bus tickets, gas card, so that their parents can visit their children. But again, we want to thank you so much, KW Association, for all you've done for the kids at Gainesville State School, and thank these two guys for what they've done also. May God bless each of y'all.
I just have this to say to Ben and Hudson. You boys really inspire us because you saw beyond the handcuffs and you saw beyond the guards that surrounded that team. And you saw an opportunity to take action and unite two very, very different teams. And in doing that, you created hope for these young men, and you have impacted their lives more than you will ever know. And now, listen to the band play The Same Difference as We.
I cause trouble, you know me. You wish I didn't exist. But trouble is all that defines me. And yet I fear I wouldn't be missed.
I have privilege, advantage. I have a team on my side. My fans support me, they love me. But I feel empty inside. Take one look into me now. On the inside you will see. My outsides may deceive you.
You're the same as me. I've made mistakes, I'm foolish. But teamwork is something I've learned. I won't forget the lessons. Honor is something I've earned.
I have the chance to make a difference. Others need attention too. We cheer, we praise, we holler. This is our future renewed. Take one look into me now. And on the inside you will see. My outsides may deceive you.
You're the same as me. sing.
What a beautiful song to depict the reality of what happened. Thank you for coming, boys. We wish you the best. And Coach Thomas, we love you, boys. Due to the sensitive nature of the